What if I told you that there's an ancient list that recorded the reigns of godlike kings from thousands of years ago? The Sumerian king list, also known as Chronicle of the One Monarchy, is one of the most mysterious and captivating records from ancient Mesopotamia ever discovered. This list talks about the reigns of kings in ancient Sumer, a civilization located in what is now southern Iraq. From the earliest kings who supposedly ruled before a great flood to the historical rulers that came after, the Sumerian kings list challenges what we know about history and mythology. Some say these early kings were divine or even extraterrestrial beings, while others believe the list was the Sumerians' way of linking their rulers to the sacred. But is any of this true? In this video, we will explore the mysteries surrounding the Sumerian king list and what it might reveal about the nature of these rulers. Were these rulers truly divine beings, or could there be other explanations? Well, watch this video till the end to find out. With that said, let's get started. The Sumerian king list begins with a very puzzling aspect, showing us the huge difference between the kings who reigned before and after the flood. Before the flood era, or the antediluvian times, kings were said to have ruled for astonishingly long periods. For example, according to the list, King Alulim of Eridu, believed to be the first king of ancient Sumer, was said to have reigned for 28,800 years. And then there's Enmenluana of Bad Tibira, who ruled for 43,200 years. Can you believe that? However, things changed after the flood. The kings who ruled afterward had much shorter reigns. While their reigns were still longer than what we would expect from real human rulers, they seem more believable. King Gilgamesh, the famous hero king of Uruk, is said to have ruled for 126 years, which is within the realm of possibility for a historical figure. This big difference between the two periods has led to many questions. Why were the reigns of the early kings so long? Were they real people, divine beings, or was this all just made up? Well, ancient Sumerian beliefs show us that the kings listed before the Great Flood are often thought to be gods or demigods. Their extremely long lifespans suggest a connection to divine or supernatural forces. In Sumerian mythology, the gods were directly involved in the creation and governance of mankind. This could explain why the early kings were believed to have ruled for such long periods. Take the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest literary works in existence. It portrays Gilgamesh as two-thirds god and one-third human. This story connects to the Anunnaki, who are thought to be the creators of the human race and were said to have descended from the heavens. The Anunnaki are often portrayed as the creators of mankind and the givers of kingship. In Sumerian belief, the Anunnaki were said to have come down from the sky. One interpretation of their name is that it means children of Anu, referencing the sky god Anu, or those who came from the sky. Another interpretation is that the name comes from the Sumerian words An, meaning ski, and Ki, meaning earth, with the Anunnaki being the result of a union between Anu, the sky god, and Ki, the earth goddess. Anu was the king of the gods, and his children included some of the most powerful deities like Enlil, the god of air and storms, and Enki, the god of wisdom and creation. Then there was Inanna, or Ishtar, the goddess of love, fertility, and war. These gods didn't just control things like the weather. They were also believed to decide the fate of humans, including who lived and who died. Some stories say the Anunnaki passed on their power and knowledge to the early kings, which might explain why the kings on the Sumerian king list had such long reigns, and why they seemed more like gods than regular humans. Some interpretations suggest that the Anunnaki helped to establish the Sumerian kings, granting them their incredibly long reigns. This has led to speculation that these early rulers were probably not human at all. When we look at the story this way, it is possible that the pre-flood kings were direct descendants of the Anunnaki, which would explain their divine status and their extended reigns. This has brought about debate over whether the kings of the Sumerian kings list were actual historical figures, divine beings, or a combination of both among scholars. Some argue that the long reigns are mythological exaggerations that give kings a divine right to rule. In ancient Mesopotamia, rulers often claimed to be descended from gods to boost their authority. Linking themselves to legendary kings with extraordinary lifespans could have been a way to make their reign seem more legitimate. However, there are also those who believe that the antediluvian kings may have been more than just symbolic figures. Ancient astronaut theorists believe these kings were actually extraterrestrial beings who came to Earth and ruled humans for long periods, which could explain their super long lifespans. Then there's a middle ground idea. Maybe the pre-flood kings were real people whose stories got exaggerated over time. Like Gilgamesh, they might have been historical figures, but as their legends grew, they started to seem more like gods. So, the Sumerian kings list isn't the only ancient record to mix historical facts with myths. Lots of ancient cultures did the same. Take Egypt, for example. Their pharaohs were often seen as godlike, claiming they were directly descended from the gods. They believed the gods handpicked their rulers, much like the Sumerians. Some pharaohs were also said to have impossible long reigns, although not quite as extreme as the Sumerian kings. You can see the same thing in Chinese history with the legendary Yellow Emperor Huangdi, who ruled for over 100 years and accomplished things no normal human could. Like the Sumerian kings list, these ancient records blur the line between history and myth, connecting their rulers to the divine. This mix of myth and history is pretty common across ancient cultures, but what makes the Sumerian kings list stand out is how long the years are and how deeply it links their early kings to cosmic or divine powers. The Sumerian kings list did not just stop with the people of Sumer. It had a huge impact on later Mesopotamian civilizations, including the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. These later civilizations adopted a lot of the myths and religious beliefs of the Sumerians, and the concept of divine kingship became a key feature of their political and religious systems as well. The way the Sumerian kings list describes long-reigning, godlike rulers has echoed through history, appearing in legends and myths about ancient civilizations. Even today, these stories fuel modern theories about lost civilizations and even alien contact. It's not surprising to think that a record from ancient Sumer continues to spark curiosity and imagination, showing just how deep its impact runs across time and cultures. If you enjoyed this exploration of the Sumerian kings list, follow us for more content on ancient myths and legends you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.